Happy days and welcome to another beautiful extreme business set 9 series deep dive with, of course, Mr. Tony Ware. And before we go any further, do I have one of the most, I'm going to say, overlooked, which is crazy when you sell a business, emotions that the majority of business owners, entrepreneurs, multiple entrepreneur, whatever you call yourself, one of the biggest oversights, which is how to sell with confidence. Let me just add to that. I just said how to sell with confidence. I mean, you must be like, what? We open up in a business and we have no idea how to sell with confidence. Isn't that mad?
It is really. And I think that's the heart of the word, like sell. Yeah. Or to get sales is the least area people in business understand. And even then, nowadays, they bring in a social media manager or a sales manager, or they take somebody that's good at sales and make them a sales manager. And then the sales manager doesn't know how to delegate or transfer skills.
Oh, wow.
And I think for the entrepreneurs that aren't good at sales, it comes back to basic principles, I think. Who are you serving rather than selling? Who are you serving? What emotions are the people going through? What pains or what obstacles or challenges are they having? And how does your product, service, or offering neutralize it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because now you're not in sales anymore, you're in service. And I mean, and if you're empathetic, why would you want the people, the customers, your potential prospects who you want to be your customers, why would you want them to suffer when you know your product, service, or solution is the outcome? And what we try to do is convince, try to prove. Where if we know who our ideal client is and how we serve them, we can talk straight to the pain they're having. Yeah. Which means now it's not a sale, it's a conversation.
Can we look at this also, Lee, on another layer, which I know you will thrive into, which is we started selling as kids. As children, we started selling what we needed from ourselves to our parents. So we were sales reps from a very early age in life because we were trying to sell what we needed from our parents. Now, we could go back into your real complicated past where your selling had to be on a very different level to mine. You know, my selling was, if I didn't get it, I could sulk for a couple of days and I got it. I am the worst type of business person because I procrastinate my sales from my childhood. You know, most people can't sell because they just didn't know how to as a child. What I mean by that is we have different versions, do you think?
Yeah, going that way, I think what happens is people on the journey of life lose who they are.
Wow.
And because of that, they keep showing up as the version Mummy wanted, Daddy wanted, Uncle John, Nan. And as long as I do that right, I'll get this. Or if I do that, everything will stay peaceful. But along that journey, when we try to, I suppose, immolate or medicate, and find our pattern, because when we go to school, we're in this pecking order, so we find our place. And like you'll hear people say, I don't know where I fit in. I don't feel like I fit in. Why'd you have to fit in?
Wow.
Why'd you have to fit in?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Well, people won't like me if I don't fit in. All right, so you're going to compromise who you are for who they want you to be. Why would you do that? Where's the honour and integrity in that? Me, I'll show up exactly as me. I'm not showing up with an agenda on Paul or Mary or John. I'm just going to show up and be me. If I hear disrespect, I'll say it. If I feel somebody's overtreading the line or being clever with the language, I'll say it. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, if I'm interested, then I'll tell them I'm interested. I'm interested. Yeah. Tell me more about the product. Does it solve this problem? If so, how? But if it's clever language, I mean, and I think even worse, when you're interacting, like attracts like, they say. I don't know whether it does, but it appears it does. So we're trying to sell to people like us. So when we go up the level and we start to realise a specific customer or client avatar and how we serve them, what's our USP, what some might say your unique selling proposition, what I say is what's your unique superpower. Mm-hmm. When you know your unique superpower and how it and who it serves, and you've got expertise and experience in this area, either to a very high level or above any other, you don't trade time for money. If it solves a problem and takes away pain or takes away confusion or creates collaboration or unity, then your product is a very high value. And if you've got the challenges sometimes, and I had this conversation with in a group, probably about pre-COVID, maybe just before COVID. And it was about, we were talking about a high-end client avatar. And I'll tell you the event we were talking about. A friend of mine's got a private island, and we were looking to do a high-end personal development event on this private island, off-grid, to like American business people. 25, 30 grand to come and stay on this private island for about a week. This is with your food, accommodation, everything, but also high-end, very high-end personal development. Mm-hmm. And one of the people in the group, because there was 4 of us involved, and we all bring different skill sets. One had the avatar. So it's just before COVID. COVID messed things up a little bit. And they were talking to another person, and I was just eavesdropping sort of thing. And they said, oh, yeah, we need to do this, do that. And I said, oh, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. They said, why not? You have to do this, you have to do it. I said, no, you wouldn't. I said, not with that avatar. I said, what do you mean? I said, oh, I said, you don't get it. I said, the higher or better the level of success people have, their awareness levels are a totally different understanding. I said, because they already know that the crosshairs in everybody's, like, they know they're for lunch.
Yeah.
And they know that 80 or 90% of the people that interact with them aren't interacting with them. They're interacting with the level of success they think they can get from you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
So they see either what you have or the money you have or the connections you have. They see your level of success and they want to use your level of success or use you or sell you or trick you. I said, and they're already past so many different layers of income autonomy where their self-awareness and self-respect and their comfortability of success, they know that terrain. So when you speak, they also know your terrain because they were once there. When they hear that language, they know where you are. And it's not an illusion. And now the 4th person had to go and do something. When they come back, I said, just run that past Karen. And Karen was the person that owned the island.
Yeah.
Very good mate of mine. And I said, just run what you said. I said, run it again like I never said nothing. And they said it. And Karen went, I wouldn't do that. And I said, why? He said, because, they said, they feel like they're in the crosshairs. He said, that'd be the last thing you say to people like the people we want to deal with. Mm-hmm. He said, the type of clients you're looking for are people like myself and Lee. It's a totally different level of communication. He said, because the one, like attracts like. So your awareness level, that isn't to say you don't do business with people at different levels. That isn't the point. But when you're trying to sell at a high level, now I'm not on about to somebody that's in a company, like as in a manager or a CEO. I'm on about an entrepreneur that's built up from nothing to something. Yeah, a business owner, a founder that's really done the do, their awareness level and their interaction level. And how I know that, you can go to a room with people like that, and we seem to attract each other, and we can use the same language and have a totally different understanding of the world and not have to explain ourselves to each other. And I'll give you a good example. The person I'm talking about on that island, this is the difference in interaction at a very high level. And Roz and I were at an event, a very big event, and I knew of this guy and he knew of me, and he come up to me and he said, the elusive Lee Tunney Weir. He said, you're a bit like Harry Hughes, Harold Hughes. He said, what's the word for it now he used? Oh, what's the word he used? One of those people that go off grid. What they there's this
Nomad?
word. No, it come to me. I hate that when it's in your head. Not extroverts. There's a word for it anyway, where you just go off grid and you get on with it on your own. But it's like, I thought it came in a minute. He said, you're a bit like one of those, whatever the word was. And he said, you and I should get together. And I said to him, I'm not sure about that. And he looked at me. I said, I haven't heard good things about you. I said, now it could be the local grapevine. I said, sometimes with successful people, unsuccessful people want to pull them down a peg or two. They want their success, but they don't like their directness. So I said, now, I don't know which one it is, whether it's grapevine bullshit or whether that's your character. I said, if that's your character, stay well away from me. And he said, it ain't my character. He said, but I love your honesty and authenticity. He said, now him and I are like brothers. That was the first meeting I ever had with him. As soon as he wanted to do something with me, I wanted to know. And I told him exactly. Yeah, and he loved it. I mean, there's meetings we've been at, like we've met people. You can never guess how we met. This bloke is so real. He just said that. And he said that. Now, he said, most people, that would scare the living daylights out of me. He said, I thought it was brilliant because he could see who I was instantly. Yeah. So, and that's the level, that's who he is.
Yeah.
And he went, I couldn't have said it better myself, but that's the point. When they're trying to sell people that are aware, what they're actually doing is trying to make fools of clever people. Sorry, you were going to say, let me, but that's the bit. They don't get that they're actually talking down to, when you've got a successful person that's got great success and they give you their time, that's respect.
Yeah.
When you portray or you're clever with your language, you're actually trying to use a very clever person and they ain't a fool. You might get away with that, your mum, your sister, your brother, and give them the quick line. Don't do that with successful entrepreneurs that build the way up. Because I can guarantee you they won't do business with it.
Because I was tying that into something which you said was neutralizing a problem.
Yeah.
Because effectively that conversation you had and the return to that conversation, which was, well, I'm not sure if we should, immediately you were neutralizing a problem within that person also, which is for him to check his support system or check what's happening around him with the jungle drums and things, because I love what you said there, which was you don't sell something, you neutralize a problem. I mean, even at that high level of communication or conversation you're having, you're neutralizing what are problems, just even at that high level, because you immediately
a lot of people want to buy it. And if you really, Henry Ford said it, see, if I'd listened to the market, I would have made more carriages.
Oh, wow.
And he made cars. And I mean, why do you think he's got 160 brake horsepower? They even had to utilize the language, horsepower. What's the horsepower? It's got 150 horses under the bonnet. What does that mean? I mean, nowadays it means nothing. In them days, it meant the power of this car or this truck is the equivalent of 150 of your horses, because that's what they were pulling at the time. Yeah. So the point of it is, excuse me, if you're not translating what your product or service are doing in a way that they understand, some would see that as sales. No, that is good communication. That's good rapport. That's good empathy. That's good understanding. That's understanding your client avatar. Trying to be all things to all people. And even in niching, I've got no problem with niching, but some people niche their business down. I sell chow mein. What does that mean? Well, I'm in the food business. Yeah. What does that mean? Well, I've got a restaurant. Yeah. So restaurant's the category. What type of restaurant? I've got an Italian restaurant. Oh, now we're down again into another level.
Yeah.
And what's on your menu? Chow mein. Yeah. Well, how can you have chow mein when you're
Mm-hmm.
you're an Italian restaurant. Surely you should be a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
No, I'm special. And the customer that you serve, they go, well, no, I don't get it. And at the same time, if I go to so it should be spaghetti or noodles. Yeah. now if you're talking, so
Yeah.
an Italian restaurant, spaghetti or noodles. Chinese restaurant, yeah, it's chow mein. Yeah. What's the point? If you're just selling one product, regarding you ain't niche yourself and put yourself in the right category. When you talk to your clients and you want to be an innovator and you want to be really clever, you got to utilize, like, I mean, whoever invented chow mein, nowadays it don't need any help. Yeah. Whoever invented electricity. There's a place they rent in Brixton or around that area called Electric Avenue. I'm sure you've heard the song.
Yeah.
Eddie Grant. The reason it's called Electric Avenue, because that was the first place that was lit by electric light. Supposedly for free, because nobody could understand what electric light was because they were used to the kerosene lamp or the gas light. That's where the term gaslighting comes from. The point I'm trying to make is, well, if your product has innovation and solves a problem, you just need to talk about it in the old language. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it transcribes into a new language. You have to reinvent. You have to create language. But if you're talking, if it's, it can help everybody, who specifically? You're an Italian restaurant. Yeah, I know people they have like a multi-taste cultural palette. But if you're an Italian restaurant, if you're going into, let's say, Italy, I'm moving to Italy and I'm opening a new business. What are you opening, Lee? I'm opening a Greasy Spoon Cafe. Could do sausage and eggs and beans. Yeah, why? Because there's none out there. There's none out there. And where you're going to be doing it? In the tourist place? Or no, I've thought about the tourist place, but they're all tourists. I'm going to do it where they're building places. Yeah, I'm going to go out and what I've noticed as well, all the businesses shut around sort of 2:00 till sort of 4:30. I'm going to stay open. And we have these, I'm just going to be different, and we call that innovation. And how's that working out for you, Lee? Yeah, well, there's nobody about. And I also worked out that the Italians, like when they're working on the building sites and that, they don't like sausage, egg, and beans. They have a totally different palate. When in Rome, do what the Romans do. So if you're going into a new industry, and bear in mind, a new industry could be a new market, you could be creating it, a bit like Uber. If you're disruptive, then you need Uber, might be called Uber. What is it? Well, it's a glorified taxi that you can book on your phone. Mm-hmm. But everybody knew what a taxi was.
Okay.
Social media manager, let's say social media. I manage your social media. What does that mean? Well, I put the post out on the market. And what do you know about conversion? What do you know about A/B split testing? What do you know about client avatar? What do you know about, in a sense, talking to 3 points in the market? What do you know about buyer personas? And if they can't answer any of those questions, they should not be your social media manager.
Wow, that's massive.
They don't understand buyer personas. They don't understand pain points. They don't understand that you've got the awareness level. So there's people that don't have an awareness at all that the problem exists. Never mind the awareness of your product. So a lot of people are trying to sell their product, and the client that needs it has no awareness. Buy my car, buy my car, buy my car. You know what, Paul? I'm thinking about getting a new carriage and getting a couple of Irish draft mares. Yeah. And that's the difference sometimes when you, especially in the modern world now with so many different apps and different things like that, if you don't get your message right, and you don't understand the problem yourself, and you don't understand where the client is, and you don't understand how to give the client or the prospect the awareness that, yeah, you might want a horse, you might want 2 horses in a carriage. Did you know you can have this truck? Mm-hmm. You haven't got to feed it every morning or muck it out, stable it. You haven't got to have stables for it. You don't have to have a groom for it. You don't have to have a farrier for it. Just have to put petrol or diesel in, and it's the equivalent of having 150 horses.
Yeah.
150 horses. That means how many stables would you have? How much oats and food, and how many horses do you have to get shod So yeah, it might be 2,500, but if you had 150 horses, you'd be spending that every year.
Yeah. Wow. Lee, here we are. How to sell with confidence. And here it is, neutralizing the problem. We flipped that. You flipped that. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
There's so much more we could say on it. Anyway, my friend.
That is, we could go on forever. Until this time next week, going to say bye for now and boom.
Boom. Take care, buddy.
Bye, Lee.
Take care, my friend. I'll see you next week. Cheers, buddy.